Have you ever wondered why some people blow up on YouTube with their very first video, while you, after months of exhausting effort, are still stuck staring at the exact same flat numbers in your analytics studio? Have you ever thought about the real secret behind that one channel that hit 100,000 subscribers in a single year? Is it luck? Is it lobbying? Is it some secret backdoor friendship with the algorithm? Let me hit you with a brutal, unfiltered truth right out of the gate. YouTube does not care about your face, your expensive cinema-grade gear, or your luck. The algorithm is an illiterate, stubborn robot that is staring at one single metric and nothing else. Did the viewer stay glued to this video until the very final second or not? This single realization is the bedrock of all growth engineering on this platform. Once you truly grasp this, the path to 100K subscribers stops being an unsolvable mystery and transforms into a precise mathematical and psychological formula that we are going to break down step by step right now. Stay with me until the very final second, because we are about to rip apart the deepest layers of human psychology and content distribution in a way that will permanently alter your perspective. Let's rewind back to day one, the moment you decided to launch your channel. What did you do? You went out, found a cool name, slapped together a pretty logo, and told yourself that the world was about to explode. But what actually happened? You uploaded the video and the view count stayed firmly locked at 3. One view was you, one was your mom, and the third was a random stranger who clicked by absolute mistake. Where did it all go wrong? The core mistake is that you were making videos for yourself, not for that exhausted, frustrated person sitting in the dark at 2:33 a.m. scrolling mindlessly through their phone. The first secret to hitting 100K is realizing that YouTube is not an art gallery for your ego. YouTube is an open-air marketplace for human needs and problems. Your viewer is desperately looking to fill an internal void, learn a brand new skill, or escape the crushing weight of a boring reality. If your video fails to tell them within the first 5 seconds, "I possess the exact remedy for the pain you are feeling right now," you have already lost the game before it even started. This means the very first step toward real growth is killing that creator arrogance which whispers that whatever you happen to like is what everyone else deserves to watch. Now, let's step up to the ultimate boss fight of phase 1, choosing your niche, or your specific arena of operation. Most amateur creators operate under the dangerous delusion that the wider their audience circle, the more views they will rake in. They build a chaotic channel that tries to cover tech reviews, football highlights, daily vlogs, and cooking tutorials all at the same time. This is absolute poison for a newborn channel. The YouTube algorithm is like a hyper-intelligent, highly specialized hunting hound. It needs to know precisely what scent it is tracking. When your channel lacks a coherent, undeniable identity, the algorithm gets utterly confused about who it should hand your video to. The result? Your impressions skyrocket, but nobody clicks, or worse, they click and immediately bail out 10 seconds later. Deep inside the masterclass of business and personal development, we learn a universal law: extreme focus breeds absolute power. When you carve out a hyper-narrow niche, your initial audience size might look modest on paper, but those human beings are precisely the ones who will sit through your videos with burning passion and hit that subscribe button with absolute conviction. Focusing on a singular subject means building a loyal tribe, and it is tribes, not indifferent passers-by, that carry a channel to the top. Let's assume you've found your niche, nailed your concept, and your video file is fully polished and ready to go. This is the exact graveyard where 90% of all channels quietly die. Why? Because they treat their custom thumbnail and video title as a bureaucratic chore to check off a list. My friend, your title and your thumbnail are the two frontline soldiers of your entire channel army. If they fail to win the war in the opening split second, even the most legendary cinematic masterpiece of a video will rot away in the dark corners of your studio. Human beings process visual imagery long before they register a single word of your script. The core difference between an amateur thumbnail and an elite, professional one is that the amateur tries to narrate a story, whereas the professional engineers a vacuum of pure curiosity. When a title and a thumbnail lock together like two missing puzzle pieces, the human brain suffers a sudden cognitive glitch that physically forces the viewer's hand to slam down on the click button. This is the authentic psychology of the click that so many creators lazily ignore. Keep this carved into your mind. Earning a click is never about deception or clickbait trickery. It is about extending a magnetic invitation to an electrifying adventure where the viewer's burning questions will finally find their answers. Now, let's fast forward. The click is secured, and the viewer has stepped through your digital front door. This is precisely where the real psychological combat commences, the exact battlefield where most creators suffer a catastrophic casualty, the sudden, bleeding drop in watch time and audience retention. Why does a viewer bail out of your video just 1 minute in? Because their brain is screaming out in pure boredom. The modern human attention span is more ruthless and fragile than you can possibly imagine. It has officially shrunk below that of a goldfish. If you kick off your video by spending the first 2 minutes expressing your deep gratitude, rambling about housekeeping, and chanting a generic introductory greeting, you have effectively dug your channel's own grave with your bare hands. You must operate like a master action movie director, detonating a tiny, irresistible bomb of excitement, shock, or curiosity every single 10 seconds. Shifting camera angles, flashing dynamic text on screen, dropping a jaw-dropping stat, or throwing a bold, provocative question right into the face of the viewer. These are your pattern interrupts, your psychological circuit breakers that short-circuit mental fatigue and make it physically impossible for the viewer to justify hitting that exit button. Here, I want to hand you a closely guarded secret that almost nobody in the mainstream creator community is willing to admit. Your long-term growth on YouTube has virtually zero to do with what time of day you upload, how many trendy hashtags you cram into the description section, or how desperately you beg for subscribers in the comment threads. Your growth is mathematically tied to one absolute metric: the raw volume of dopamine you successfully inject into the viewer's neural pathways. The deeper you can force someone to sink back into their chair, holding their breath while thinking, "Wait a minute, what happens next?" the harder the algorithm will push your video in front of fresh, untouched eyes. This is the exact moment where the journey to 100K subscribers transforms into a high-level game of strategic chess. You are no longer just a content creator recording pixels. You are a master user experience architect who is actively manipulating human fears, deep-seated ambitions, hidden insecurities, and raw curiosities, ultimately delivering a profound, undeniable value that converts casual watchers into hardcore, die-hard fans. Let's break this massive staircase down into smaller, highly actionable steps so you can physically see the mechanics behind hitting 100K. Channels that completely explode across the platform typically run on what we call the 30-video execution framework. What does this mean in practice? It means you must commit to engineering at least 30 hyper-targeted, exceptionally high-value, serialized videos where each piece serves as a logical, seamless continuation of the previous one. When a new viewer clicks through to your channel homepage, they should never be greeted by a chaotic wasteland of random, disjointed topics. They need to feel like they have just walked into a specialized, elite academy where an expert guide is taking them by the hand, step by step, toward a promised transformation. This structural continuity forces the algorithm to recognize that the people visiting this channel exhibit high intent, triggering the system to aggressively recommend your work to the entire niche. Too many creators throw their hands up in despair after 10 uploads and abandon ship, completely unaware that the legendary treasure of the 100K milestone was sitting hidden just behind the 12th wall. Blind persistence is useless. Targeted, data-informed persistence is what creates absolute miracles. Now it is time to open up your YouTube Studio dashboard and stare down your raw data analytics. This is where the true divide between an amateur hobbyist and a seasoned professional becomes starkly visible. The amateur sits back, glares at the total view counter, and wallows in self-pity, while the professional dives headfirst into the Analytics tab to inspect the Holy Grail, the audience retention graph. When you read this horizontal linear graph, it is literally talking directly to you, pointing an accusing finger at your exact failures. It tells you explicitly that right around minute 3, your vocal tone went completely flat, your pacing dragged like an anchor, or you dragged out a simple concept for far too long, causing a massive wave of viewers to abandon ship. Learning how to decode these retention curves is the ultimate mastery of human behavioral engineering. Once you master the mechanical art of flattening that downward slope and holding your audience line steady, you have officially decoded the cheat code to conquering YouTube. This is hard, unyielding science, not random luck. Another monumental battleground you must resolve inside your own mindset right now is the eternal paradox of quality versus quantity. Countless creators fall into the trap of thinking they need to drop one Hollywood-grade cinematic epic per month to grow, or conversely, that they must mass-produce 3 sloppy, low-effort videos every single day. The absolute reality is that YouTube thrives on balanced momentum. Balance in this context means intelligent, unyielding consistency. The algorithm deeply loves channels that operate on a reliable, predictable cadence because it signals that you are running a serious media business rather than dabbling in a casual weekend hobby. But take absolute caution. Velocity must never be allowed to murder quality. Every single video you publish must stand as a higher step than the one you built before it. This represents your personal evolution as a creator, meaning you continuously upgrade your editing flow, sharpen your on-camera delivery, and fortify your scriptwriting framework until it is bulletproof. A huge number of aspiring creators constantly walk up to me and complain, "Hey, I've executed every single one of these strategies, but my subscriber count refuses to budge an inch. What am I doing wrong?" Whenever I audit their channels, I almost always spot a fatal psychological glitch. They have completely forgotten that the subscribe button is an authentication stamp of deep loyalty, not an aggressive petition-begging form. A viewer will never, under any circumstances, tap that red button unless they have fallen completely in love with your voice, your perspective, and your unique lens on the world. You must never stoop to begging with phrases like, "Please, guys, make sure to subscribe." Instead, you must trap the viewer in an inescapable web of pure value, delivering insights so transformative that they voluntarily hunt down that button themselves and smash the notification bell just to ensure they never miss your next masterclass. This is the ultimate shifting of gravity, moving power away from your desperate demands and toward the magnetic pull of undeniable value. Let us transition into exploring the profound power of community architecture. Reaching 100,000 subscribers is not hitting a passive vanity milestone. It means you have gathered 100,000 living, breathing human beings with real emotional struggles, authentic pain points, and genuine aspirations who are sitting down and tuning into your voice. If you treat these souls as mere cold data points flickering inside a dashboard, you are committing a catastrophic mistake. The greatest, most enduring channels on this planet are the ones that treat their audience like a close-knit circle of trusted peers. They reply thoughtfully to comments, launch engaging community polls, and extract future video topics directly from the raw pain points and questions pouring out of their comment sections. When a viewer truly feels that you genuinely care about their progress and respect their intelligence, they instantly transform into your personal militia, an unstoppable army of advocates who aggressively share, like, and protect your channel as if it were their own home. This is the elusive catalyst that accelerates growth 100-fold. Now, let's peel back another layer and dive deeper into the psychological architecture of a viral video. Why do certain pieces of content spread like wildfire across the globe while others quietly suffocate in absolute silence? The secret lies entirely within the concept of emotional state transfer. Human beings make complex, life-altering decisions purely based on raw emotion and subsequently scramble to justify those choices using cold logic. When your video consists of dry, emotionless facts and boring textbook data, the logical hemisphere of the viewer's brain switches on, aggressively hunting for flaws to pick apart. But the moment you embed that exact same information within the turbulent, visceral narrative of human struggle, failure, grit, and triumph, you instantly lock down the emotional centers of their brain. The viewer starts living and breathing through your words. They feel as though their own personal life journey is playing out on the monitor in front of them. This is the exact sacred threshold where hitting the like and comment buttons becomes an automatic reflex, because the viewer feels an overwhelming debt of gratitude for the transformation you triggered inside their mind. To sustain this high-octane psychological momentum, you must master the art of the information drip. Never dump all your core insights onto the audience all at once like an academic encyclopedia. Human nature is inherently lazy. The exact second the brain calculates that it fully grasps the entire scope of a topic, it completely shuts down the processing loop and rushes off toward the next digital distraction. Your core mandate as an attention architect is to remain perpetually one step ahead of the viewer's active consciousness. Introduce a compelling premise, drop an even larger, more complex question before resolving the first, and right when the viewer reaches the absolute peak of craving an answer, deliver the missing piece of the puzzle. This rhythmic, ping-pong flow of information keeps dopamine and adrenaline spiking at peak levels, making it impossible for the atmosphere of the video to dip for even a single microsecond. Let's tear down another deadly delusion, the dangerous myth of the universal target audience. Countless creators make the fatal mistake of designing videos intended to appeal to everyone on Earth, from an 8-year-old child to an 80-year-old retiree. This approach is an absolute disaster. When your video attempts to speak to everyone, it ultimately ends up speaking to absolutely no one. You must meticulously craft a hyper-specific avatar of your ideal viewer, give them a name, chart out their daily anxieties, map out the exact hour they wake up in a panic, and pinpoint precisely what keeps them awake at night in absolute terror. When you sit down to write your script, you must write it as if you are mailing a deeply personal, confidential letter to that single specific human being. Herein lies the supreme magic. When you speak directly to one clearly defined individual, millions of other people scattered across the planet who share those exact same struggles will feel as though you were reading their minds, whispering directly to the core of their soul. This is the ultimate peak of intimacy and scale in modern media. Now let us examine the critical deployment of the retention reset, right around the structural midpoint of your video. No matter how brilliantly crafted your narrative is, somewhere between minute 5 and minute 7, the human brain inevitably drifts into a state of unconscious focus fatigue. This is precisely where the majority of standard channels suffer a devastating mass exodus of viewers. What is the ultimate remedy? You must detonate a psychological surprise right in the middle of the timeline, a shocking confession, a radical paradigm shift that flies directly in the face of conventional wisdom, or a staggering statistic that completely shatters every prior assumption. The viewer, caught completely off guard by this sharp pivot, snaps right back to full alertness, staring at the screen while thinking, "Wait a second, did I hear that correctly?" This powerful mental reset injects the raw fuel required to power through the remainder of the script all the way to the final second. Alongside all of these mechanical strategies, you must never neglect the critical impact of your vocal tone and delivery rhythm. Your voice is the master instrument of this entire emotional orchestra. If you deliver your lines like a rigid, monotone news anchor or an exhausted university professor lecturing to an empty lecture hall, your viewer will flee faster than lightning within 10 seconds. Your delivery tone must mirror that of a trusted close friend whispering a profound, game-changing secret to you across a quiet cafe table. Intentional pauses, strategic shifts in vocal pressure during high-impact lines, and the use of a live, street-smart, highly relatable vernacular generate an intimacy that no multi-million-dollar studio setup can ever replicate. Human beings are biologically hardwired to crave raw, unscripted authenticity. Therefore, strip away the artificial mask of formality and let your true, unfiltered human presence bleed directly through the audio waves. Let us finally arrive at the breathtaking summit and climax of the journey. Once the viewer has loyally stayed by your side all the way to the final second, you are handed a golden opportunity to deliver your ultimate call to action. The amateur, lazy approach is to default to a cheap, transactional plea, "Hey guys, make sure to like and subscribe." That approach is tired, hollow, and completely transparent. Instead, you must weave your call to action directly into the emotional climax of the video. Look straight down the barrel of the lens and tell them, you made it all the way here because you refused to settle for an ordinary life. So if you are genuinely ready to take the next unstoppable step with us, tap that button, step inside this family, and let's conquer the mountain together. This elevated framing transforms a passive click into a binding personal commitment, skyrocketing your conversion rates through the roof.